Public servants are the people who make our society work. They are not famous, they do not earn big salaries, but without them, our daily lives would fall apart. They are the ones who teach our children how to read and write. They are the ones who drive the buses that take us to work and school. They are the first responders who run towards danger when everyone else is running away. They are the social workers who help families in crisis. They are the librarians who open the doors to a world of knowledge for everyone, regardless of their income. They are the backbone of our communities, doing essential work that often goes unnoticed and uncelebrated by the very people they serve every single day. These jobs are not just tasks on a to-do list, they are acts of service. A teacher does more than just explain math problems. They inspire a lifelong love of learning. They notice when a child is struggling and offer a helping hand. A city bus driver does more than just steer a large vehicle through crowded streets. They ensure that an elderly person gets to their doctor's appointment safely. They provide a reliable way for a low-wage worker to get to their job across town. These public servants build the invisible structure that holds our society together, performing their duties with a sense of purpose and a commitment to the public good, a commitment that is rarely matched by their compensation. We often take these services for granted, as if they are a natural part of the world, like the air we breathe. We expect the garbage to be collected from our curbside. We expect the parks to be clean and safe for our children to play in. We expect someone to answer when we call for help in an emergency. But behind each of these expectations is a person, a public servant, who shows up to work every day to make it happen. Their dedication is the reason our communities function. They are not just employees, they are guardians of our collective well-being, working quietly in the background to maintain the quality of life we all enjoy. Their importance cannot be overstated. Imagine a city without them for just 1 week. The schools would close, leaving children without education and parents scrambling for childcare. The buses would stop running, stranding thousands of people and bringing the local economy to a halt. The libraries would lock their doors, cutting off access to computers and resources for those who need them most. The streets would become filled with uncollected trash, creating health hazards. It is in their absence that we would truly understand their value. These are not optional jobs, they are fundamental to a healthy, functioning, and civilized society. The reality for many of these essential workers is a constant, quiet struggle. Consider the public school teacher who spends their own money on classroom supplies because the school budget is not enough. They work long hours, not just in the classroom but also at home, grading papers and preparing lessons late into the night. They do this for a salary that often does not keep up with the rising cost of living. They might have a master's degree and years of experience, yet still find it difficult to afford rent or a mortgage in the very community where they teach. This is the paradox of their profession. They are trusted with our most precious resource, our children, but not compensated enough to secure their own family's future. Then there are the emergency medical technicians, or EMTs. These are the people who arrive first at the scene of an accident or a medical crisis. They make life or death decisions in moments of extreme stress. They see traumatic things that most of us cannot imagine. For this incredibly demanding and emotionally draining work, they are often paid little more than minimum wage. They work long, irregular shifts, sometimes 24 hours at a time, which takes a heavy toll on their physical and mental health. They save lives for a living, but many struggle to make a living for themselves, often working second jobs just to pay their bills. The bus driver who navigates a 10-ton vehicle through congested city streets faces their own set of challenges. They are responsible for the safety of dozens of passengers at a time, a huge responsibility that requires constant focus. They deal with difficult passengers, heavy traffic, and tight schedules, all while earning a wage that places them in the low-income bracket. They wake up before the sun rises and often get home long after their own children are asleep. They provide a vital service that connects our communities, yet they may not earn enough to afford a reliable car for their own family, making them dependent on the same strained public transit system they operate. This combination of low pay and high stress creates a heavy burden. It is a daily grind that wears people down. The constant worry about money adds a layer of anxiety to jobs that are already demanding. How can you focus on teaching a classroom of 30 children when you are worried about an eviction notice? How can you provide compassionate care to a patient when you are exhausted from working a second job? The financial precarity these public servants face is not just a personal problem. It directly impacts their ability to perform the essential roles we depend on them for, creating a silent crisis that affects us all. The financial struggles of a public servant do not end when their shift is over. Poverty follows them home, affecting every aspect of their personal and family life. A low salary means making hard choices every single day. It means choosing between paying the electricity bill or buying a full week's worth of groceries. It means telling your child they cannot join the school soccer team because you cannot afford the uniform and fees. It means delaying a visit to the doctor for a persistent cough because the copay is too high. This constant financial pressure creates a home environment filled with stress and uncertainty, where the joy of family life is often overshadowed by the weight of unpaid bills. This hardship has a profound impact on their children. A child growing up in a low-income household faces numerous disadvantages. They may live in crowded housing, which makes it difficult to find a quiet place to do homework. They might experience food insecurity, which affects their ability to concentrate in school and their overall health. They see the stress their parents are under and carry that worry with them. This creates a cycle of disadvantage. The children of our underpaid teachers and social workers may fall behind in school themselves, not because they are not capable, but because the foundational stability they need to thrive is simply not there. The poverty of one generation can easily become the poverty of the next. When a large number of public servants are struggling, the problem becomes a community-wide crisis. The quality of our public services begins to decline. Experienced teachers leave the profession for better-paying jobs in the private sector, leading to high turnover rates and a less experienced teaching force in our schools. This instability harms students' education. Talented and compassionate individuals may choose not to become social workers or paramedics in the first place because they know they cannot support a family on the low wages offered. This leads to staff shortages in critical fields, meaning longer wait times for emergency services and fewer resources for families in need. Ultimately, underpaying our public servants is a form of self-sabotage for our society. We are devaluing the very work that keeps our communities safe, healthy, and educated. When we fail to provide a living wage for these workers, we are not just hurting them and their families, we are weakening the entire social fabric. The bus that runs late because the transit authority cannot retain enough drivers, the classroom that is overcrowded because the school cannot hire enough teachers, these are not isolated problems. They are symptoms of a larger failure to invest in the people who invest their lives in us, a failure that makes our communities poorer, less stable, and less resilient for everyone. The path forward requires a fundamental shift in how we value public service. The most direct and meaningful solution is to pay public servants a living wage. This is not a radical idea. It is a basic principle of fairness. A living wage is not about luxury. It is about dignity. It is about ensuring that a person who works a full-time job, especially one that serves the public good, can afford basic necessities like housing, food, healthcare, and transportation without constant stress and fear. This requires us to re-examine our city, state, and federal budgets and make a conscious choice to prioritize the people who deliver our most essential services. It means treating their salaries not as an expense, but as an investment in our collective well-being. Beyond fair wages, we must also improve working conditions and provide robust support systems. For teachers, this could mean smaller class sizes and more funding for classroom resources, reducing their personal financial burden. For first responders like EMTs, it could mean better access to mental health services to help them cope with the trauma of their work, as well as more predictable schedules that allow for a healthier work-life balance. For all public servants, it means ensuring they have access to affordable health insurance and retirement benefits that provide a real sense of security. These are not perks, they are necessary supports that acknowledge the demanding nature of their jobs and help prevent burnout. As citizens, we also have a powerful role to play in this change. We can start by simply recognizing and appreciating the work these individuals do every day. But appreciation alone does not pay the rent. We must become advocates. This means paying attention during local elections and supporting candidates who commit to investing in public services and their employees. It means attending city council and school board meetings to speak up for fair contracts for teachers, firefighters, and sanitation workers. We can challenge the narrative that public spending is wasteful, and instead frame it as a crucial investment in the health and future of our community. Our voices can create the political will needed to turn these ideas into policy. There is reason for hope. Across the country, communities are beginning to recognize this problem and take action. Teachers are organizing for better pay and winning public support. Cities are passing ordinances to raise the minimum wage for all workers, including those in public service. The conversation is shifting from one of austerity to one of investment. Change is not easy, and it will not happen overnight, but it is possible. By working together, policymakers, community members, and the workers themselves, we can build a society that truly honors its public servants, not just with words of thanks, but with the wages, benefits, and dignity they have earned. This is how we build a stronger foundation for everyone.